Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Courtney, of course, if you're familiar with my channel or you subscribe to my channel. Today is going to be another story time. Of course, before we get into this video, please make sure that you guys like and subscribe to my channel because, of course, that helps. That also pushes my content out there. I am going to do my best to be putting my TikToks up more, my shorts up more, my fit checks, because I feel like I do that with every other platform that I do, but I don't do it on my main platform, which is so weird. But I honestly be so busy, and I've been very busy lately the past few weeks, just family related, work related. It's just a lot of responsibilities that I have, so it's just been a lot going on. But anyway, we just gonna get into this video. So this story time is going to pretty much be about my past experience when I was at my past job. As some of those story times that I've told you guys, especially working at Macy's, I think I've only said a few. I think it was like a toxic coworker friend group. It was supervisors bothering me, a supervisor that was obsessed with me and my husband or whatever. She was doing some weird mess. It was a lot. I have way more, but I just feel like it's not really, most of the people they're not really relevant, to be honest. Even, it's just, but there were a lot of big situations that were going down with certain people, certain supervisors and managers, that it was just like, it was way too much. And some of those supervisors and managers, they do have favoritism and they do be having the alpha. Some people is so weird. If you don't kiss their tail, if you stay to yourself, if you're just, minding your business and you got your own stuff going on, it's like people will find a way to bother you, and it's just so annoying. It just really is. And that's why I just, when you ever going through stuff like that, find yourself another job, or because it ain't worth it. Like, it ain't worth it. And like I said in my previous story time, half of those supervisors and managers got their karma, and they ain't even managers or supervisors no more. So it's like, they did all that bothering and harassing me and doing all that stuff just for you to get your karma and for you to be demoted. So now what? So now you're looking stupid. And now I'm, minding my business as I've been doing, elevating, doing the best that I can to be the best person that I can be. So anyway, let's get into it. So they were giving me like the hardest time there. And actually, like, I had been there before, a couple years before, on a day shift. This is when I was still, with my ex-husband or whatever, my first husband at the time. And I felt like being with him too. I was just, the people he knew, the people he was cool with, the department I was in, it was so messy that they were just giving me the hardest time. Like, just, oh my goodness. Like, oh, whatever. I don't even care about him because I'm tired of talking about him. I had enough story times with his stupid tail. I'm over it. But anyway, I came back a few years later, and I'm hired for the weekend gap shift. Fast forward, all that mess. It's really nothing to get into. I feel like I've gotten into it enough. So at this time, I was dating my now husband, Jordan. So Jordan works in a different department at the time. We both were working at Macy's. We worked in different departments. I worked in case and shoes, which is you're driving the forklifts, driving the trucks. And Jordan worked in shipping. So you're pretty much just shipping boxes. You're taking boxes off the belt. You're, stacking them pretty much, or maybe he's receiving. Sometimes he will be, packing stuff, just simple stuff. He pretty much had it easy for the most part, because they did work him out a lot. They worked him like a dog, and there'd be days where he would be stressed out, and I'll be feeling so bad, like, oh my goodness, here I am thinking I'm the only one that's being stressed out and treated wrong, and he being treated wrong too, and worked like a freaking slave. And I just felt so bad for him, because it would be days where he would be just dripping sweat, just stressed out, just very emotional, just very in it, just out of the whole situation, because he's being worked to death, because these people are just working him like crazy and taking advantage of him. And I just hate that some people really have to go through that, and other people just have it easy where they can just do whatever they want. They could just be sitting up in, the manager's office, supervisor's office, while other people are really busting their tail because there's people getting on them about their numbers and stuff, or them not doing enough. when they really are doing enough. They're actually going above and beyond, and there's other people that aren't doing anything. So I can completely sympathize with anybody that's going through that situation, let alone Jordan's situation, because I was going through the same thing as well, you know. So, but anyway, let me just get away from this, because I feel like it's going into something. It ain't even going to be even about really the work. So, pretty much to get into this, there was a manager, a higher up. Well, we call them when we were at Macy's, we call them red vests. Supervisors have the green vests. I don't know what they do now. I don't care. I don't know. I work there no more, so I don't know. Supervisors have the green vests. Managers have the red vests. You know, pretty much those are higher up. The managers are in charge of the whole department. It can be up to 1 to up to 3 managers. Well, no. I think it's just 1, maybe 2 at the most of a department. I could be wrong, but I don't know, because they changed rules up so much. They changed everything up so much. I'm just really not sure anymore. So Jordan pretty much had a manager of his Jordan pretty much had a manager of his department, and he was a African American man. He was African American. He was black, but I believe, I forgot where he was from. I know he wasn't Haitian. I know he was not Haitian. I think he was African or Nigerian. And mind you, this manager, I have known him, not known him like that, like we're super close, but I have known him. I know of him. We worked together. We've worked on shifts together. We've always been respectful with each other. We've always been cordial with each other. It's never been an issue. And mind you, also, he also knows my ex-husband. We've also been around each other. He knows that I, was married at the time. He knows, my work ethic. He knows pretty much how I get down, how I move. He knows I'm quiet. I say to myself, for the most part, I don't bother anybody at all. And he actually was the one that was at the hiring interview when I got hired back on to Macy's. Keep that in mind. So we were cool. We had a really good relationship. And even before, then all that stuff that was happening, it was times where I would pick up this. He used to be the supervisor in Case and Shoes when I was working on day shift. At least when I would pick up on the weekend day shift. And he would always say, you're a good worker. You be working, like, you always do what you're supposed to do. Like, I really appreciate your work ethic. Like, and I take really good pride in that, because despite what people think about me, about how I look or how I, act, so to speak, because you don't know me. I don't act a certain way. You can say I look a certain way. Okay, I feel like I have a resting face, and that's fine. But let's not keep it real like other women don't have resting faces. You don't try to put it all on me or put it on the black girl or whatever. Get out of here. We all got a resting face. We all do it. But as long as I'm not being rude or weird to you, you shouldn't be worried about it. So anyway, he was pretty much just complimenting me on my work ethic. And I just really appreciate that, because like I said, working at Macy's, you be busting your tail. If you're a worker, like a real good worker, and you bust your tail, it's people that will go unnoticed by people, because they're just working you to death. They don't care about none of that mess. And then, the people that they favor, just have them sitting in the office, lean back, sitting in a chair, talking and keeping up with them. And, it's really nobody's business what anybody else is doing. But at the same time, we all are here to work. So if we're here to work, why do you have colleagues sitting in an office or sitting laid up or doing whatever they want with the managers and supervisors? You here to work just like us, so do your job. And it's not about what they're doing, it's about what the managers are doing, so to speak. Like, speak up and, like, do your job. Because you're just showing how unprofessional you are. They're workers at the end of the day, so you really can't, you can't hold them accountable. Oh, okay. You can't hold them accountable. I'm sorry, it was my brain. But you can't hold them accountable, but at the same time, you and y'all just be acting like this is a high school, like this is just a social club or a social event. Do your freaking job and be professional. I just don't like that stuff. So for him to say that, and I've had other people say that too as well, for people to appreciate my work ethic, I really do appreciate that, because I work my tail off. You can say a lot about me, but lazy, don't do her work, don't do their work or nothing, you can never say that about Courtney, okay? I'm sorry. You can't say that about me. Say it about you, say it about your mama, I don't know. But don't say that about me, because I bust my tail in whatever I do. And I take pride in my work, whether I like the job or not. What I learned, because I'm big on the Bible, you're supposed to take pride in your work and take pride in what you do and try to make just as much enjoyment out of it as you can. And that's what I was trying to just do so much, because I liked my job. I really liked working at Macy's. It was mostly the people. It was the people that I could not deal with. They were just doing too much. You're being weird. It's always somebody trying to start drama with somebody. Somebody always gossiping about somebody, talking about somebody, and they not doing nothing to them or bothering you, or they don't even know you. It's always a manager or supervisor trying to go out their way to disrupt your peace, or trying to bother you or give you a hard time. Like, it just was always something. Within these dirty people, the break rooms, the bathrooms, it's too much. And to be honest, I feel like that's how it is with every warehouse that you're in. But I was just like, oh my goodness, like this is just, it's too much. It's way too much. Like, it was a lot. But anyway, I keep getting a sidetrack. I'm just trying to give y'all a little bit of an insight into what it's like being in there. Or if you worked in a warehouse, I'm sure you know like what it is. But anyway, this manager, like I said, he hired me on. We had, he's worked me before, and he even told me, I know your work ethic. I know you're a good worker. I know you're reliable. I've worked with you. Like, we've literally been in the same department together. So he knows what it is. Fast forward, I'm hired on. I'm working, doing my thing. Fast forward. A little bit after the whole toxic coworker friend group thing, I'm, start reaching out. Me and Jordan are starting to reach out to each other. We're starting to get close. And, but before that, actually, I forgot. I think it was a little bit before me and Jordan had got together. The manager had, should I give him a name? I'll give him a name. Why not? I personally don't even think about names no more, because it's like, you probably don't have that many story times after, but I will give him a name. So his name, I it's hard because I don't know what kind of name. I don't just give him any name. I know it's like, I'll just call him Browning. Browning is the only name that comes to mind right now. I'm gonna call him Browning. So Browning, the one thing about Browning was that, and I found out later on, he liked to flirt with a lot of women. A lot of supervisors, managers, regular colleagues, anybody who he felt like would be gullible enough to talk to him. And I even just say gullible because whatever. Gullible enough to talk to him, or, just want to entertain what he's doing. Now, mind you, around the time back when I had worked with him on that 312A shift, that day shift, that weekend day shift, I could have sworn that he had told me in a previous conversation that he was either had the girlfriend or he was married. Either way, you were with somebody. I know for a fact he told me he was with somebody. I just can't remember if he said he was married or had a girlfriend. But either way, you got a girlfriend. So I was just like, that's so crazy to me. That was, I don't know. But he never hit on me at that time. And I don't know, maybe that has something to do with the fact that I was still married to California or what. But anyway, I'm just putting it out there. Just keep that in mind. So anyway, moving on. He had, once I got to the 312B shift, weekend night shift, the gap shift is what they call it, he had started, started flirting with me a lot more and talking to me a lot more. I guess he figured I wasn't with my husband anymore. And I was single. Don't get me wrong. I was single. I was trying to date, but I was still trying to heal and get myself together because, of course, you don't want to rush into a relationship or rush into talking with somebody or doing anything with anybody. And I just wasn't at this space where I was like, I want to, when you as a woman or as a man, it's like you want to hop out there and be with somebody, but right now is it's just not the time. But even if I did, I'm not interested in you, Browning. I don't want you. It was never that before. It was always just, at least on my end, being professional and respectful to each other. I don't have a problem with you. And you never had a problem with me for the most part. So, but I don't feel that way about you. I'm not interested in you in that way. So as time went on, he would start to try to flirt with me and do stuff like that. And I was like, and I ignored it because, like I said, he's not the first man to flirt with me at work or just in general. But it was just, I was not interested, and it just came out of nowhere. So it was kind of, and I feel like a lot of dudes did that, especially when I was working at Macy's, because a lot of them knew California and a lot of them knew me and knew our situation. So I feel like once I got single again, everybody wanted to try to press up and do all this type of stuff. But it's like, California or no California, it was never going to be that. With who, I'm not interested. That's just what it is, and it's not being mean or anything. I just feel like you're not interested. And not everybody wants to sleep or mess around with every single person that they work with or come across just in general. Like, whatever you do at work, that's your business, but doesn't mean you got to deal or talk to or sleep with every single person. It's just like, that ain't me. And at the time in my life, it's like I said, I wanted to date, but I just knew I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't. Like, I was pushing myself. Ooh, I hope I didn't spit or whatever. I was pushing myself, but at the same time, I was trying to pull myself back. Like, Courtney, no, you're not ready for this right now. So, but even then, Brownie, I'm not interested in you like that. Like, it never gave that, and it will never, ever give that. So what are you talking about? Like, what are you doing right now? So, he would flirt from time to time and do stuff, and I would peep it, but I would just be like, okay, awkward. But hopefully he keep that to himself or keep it to a minimum, because it's not finna be any of that. Mind you, this before I got with Jordan, met Jordan. Fast forward, me and Jordan start talking, we start dating and everything. What? No. I left that apart. I left out a part. So before me and Jordan started dating and started talking and everything, Browning has said something to me. I went to him. I think I came in a little bit late or something, and I ran into him. And, like I said, we were cool. We would talk. We were real, not friends. I would consider, just when you have a good coworker person or a good coworker that you could talk to or have, get advice from, sometimes you just be wanting to vent to people. And back then, I used to be like, I just want to vent. But now, I don't got time for it. I keep it to myself. Because people are weird. I swear. They will use it against you. They will turn on you. No more coworker friends, at least for me. You can't let a few bad apples spoil the bunch. But in this case, it was a lot of bad apples. So no, I'm good. We got to hang out, at least outside of work. I'm tired of it. So anyway, he had pretty much came to me and told me, he pretty much was interested in, dating me, taking me out on a date, doing stuff like that. I can't really get into remember exactly what he said, but I do know he expressed interest in me, and I was just like, no. So I was like, okay. I was just like, well, I just got out of a divorce, which was true. I was just freshly out of a divorce. I would say it probably was about maybe going on a year or so, but it was still just fresh for me. I'm not interested in, I wasn't interested in him like that, and I just wasn't interested in pursuing anything with anybody like that. So it kind of caught me off guard, but I was just trying to be respectful to him and just, you know, explain it in a nice way. I wasn't like, it was like, no, I'm not, like, oh, no, like, what? You want to take, what are you talking about? Like, boy, take me out on a date to talk to me? Like, you want to date? Like, I'm not, I'm not that girl. I'm very nice and respectful. Of course, like, I would want a man to speak to me, but it never gave that. Didn't give that. It wasn't giving that. It would never give that, and it wasn't happening. So yeah, but I just pretty much respectfully told him, you know, I'm just getting out of divorce. I'm just trying to get my life together, because like I said, at the time I was still living with my mom, and I was just trying to get my life literally back together. I just felt like, low key, I was living in this fantasy world, and I just needed to really focus on maturing, growing up, transition out of my divorce, and really just getting back to myself. So as much as I wanted to date and do all of that, I wasn't ready for it, and I'm darn sure not going to do it with him, not with Browning. Come on. And then later on, I found out he was messing with other supervisors and managers and stuff like that, and supposedly had a girlfriend or a wife on the side. So why are you trying to talk to me? I don't understand men. You got women on the side, whether it's somebody you're talking to or a girlfriend or a wife. Why do you need more women? Like, one or two ain't enough. Like, just keep it moving. Like, why do you need, you just want to rack up all the women you can. Like, you just cannot keep it in your pants. You're like, you're weird. And the fact that, you know, it's just no ending to you. It's just, come on, you just want more and more women. I just feel like that's just so just greedy, and you just downright being a low down dirty dog. And that's just all it boils down to. And I don't care what dudes or anybody got anything to say in the comments. That's just really what it boils down to. Like, come on, whatever. So but pretty much I just told him no, I wasn't interested, and he's pretty much just saying like, well, you know, like, think about it. Like, you know, just sit on it, think about it. Think about what? There's nothing to think about. I don't want to think about it. There's nothing to think about. I don't want you. I'm not interested in pursuing anything with you. Like, let's just keep it professional. Like, what are you talking about? Think about it. As if I'm going to go home and be like, yeah, you know what? He did say, like, you know, think about it. And he seems nice. And we've all, you know, like, maybe there could be a connection. No, there's not gonna, no, it's not gonna be anything. I'm not interested, no. So he said that, and I was just like, I think I've had like one other guy other than him say that, like, think on it, like, just think on it or whatever. No, I don't want to think about it. There's nothing to think about. Like, there's nothing for us to think about. Come on, like, let's be real. So I just let it go. I walked away and went about my business. Fast forward, the whole toxic coworker friend group, we, you know, fell out. I'm not talking to them no more. Jordan reaches out to me. Of course, we start getting close. We start dating, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I walk past, you know, we see each other in passing. I see the managers, supervisors, coworkers. You're going to see them in passing. Whether you're going to the department, going to other departments, cafeteria, bathrooms, you're going to see these people in passing. It's inevitable that it's going to happen. So I'm not like thinking anything of it or thinking anything out of the ordinary. But once me and Jordan got together, we were just like inseparable. So we go on break together. We walk in together. We walk out together. It's just kind of like a, you know, because we date and we're together, like, we're a couple. So I didn't think anything of it. But once I started, like, seeing Browning and me and Jordan would pass him, it would just, I just felt this tension, like this awkwardness, like, it was just this tension and awkwardness. And I could just, the first time that I had passed him, when me and Jordan had first got together, of course, a lot of people, even the toxic coworker friend group, they was kind of looking at us like, they got, I know they kind of got, because me and Jordan were the last people that they would expect to be together, because we're kind of different, but we're somewhat the same. And that's why we're together, because, you know, it's my boo-boo. So, but when Browning saw us, I feel like that triggered him very much. Like, okay, you turned me down, but here you are dating somebody else, a little white dude or whatever, or some dude or whatever. But mind you, this was a while after. It wasn't like super long after, but I had, dealt with all the drama. I had not been really seriously dating anybody. I had not been intimate with anyone. And this is the first person that I've actually been serious with, been very, well, we weren't intimate until we got married. So, but just seriously dating and being in a relationship with, this is someone who I haven't been with anybody in a long time. Like, this is new for me. And we together. I mean, I feel like I don't owe you that. And regardless of what the reason was, what I told you about me not wanting to be with you or talk to you, it is what it is. Just take it for what it is. I'm not interested. I don't, regardless, it was never going to be me and Brown. It was never going to be any of that. And it was never giving any of that. It was never going to be any of that. So I feel like when he saw me, by his facial expression, it was just given like, you low down dirty hoe. Like, I looks could kill. Like, it looked like he wanted to leap over and grab me by my neck and pin me against the wall. Like, that's what it was giving. But I didn't pay anything up because I don't owe you anything. And I already told you, I'm not interested in you. So why are you going above and beyond doing all this? Like, I've never had to deal with managers going after me or trying to pursue me or do anything until I got to Macy's. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. I've never had to deal with anything like that, any job, until I got there. But, fast forward, me and Jordan, we still together. Of course, we rocking, we go to break, we go on break together, we come in together. I walk him back from break to his department. Sometimes he walk me back to mine. Mostly I walk him back to his because he got to get back. He had a different kind of department where they didn't really do rates, but they did count their time off task. So I wanted him to get back in his department at a decent time. And I didn't want to, get him in trouble or anything. But I know with me, I'm a fast worker. I do that. And I'm a fast walker. I'm fast at everything that I do. If you know me or you're around me, I walk fast, I work fast, I write fast, I type fast, I text fast. Everything I do is fast. I get it from my dad. I cannot help it. But I don't care because, shoot, they get the job done, okay? So I would usually walk him back from break and stuff like that. And as time went on, we never had any issues with it in the past. It was never, ever a problem. No managers or supervisors ever said anything about it. But as time went on, I would notice it would be an issue, mostly from the supervisors and managers on his end. Mostly from the supervisors. But I would think maybe the managers were kind of saying something about it. Of course, managers Browning. So, as time went on, I would walk him back from his break. His manager, I had mentioned in a previous story time, was giving me problems. In my personal opinion, you can't just hop out there and say everybody is racist or prejudiced or whatever. But in my personal opinion, because I had not done anything to her, Jordan had done anything to her. Jordan had had any issues with her in the past. She's never said anything or bothered him in the past. She maybe been unkind or unfriendly to him, of course, because she's very disrespectful or rude in my opinion. But we have never had any issues in the past. I didn't even know who she was until I even got familiar with Jordan and got familiar with his department. But for some reason, every time I walk past her, like I said in previous story time, she would mug me. And I'm talking about mug, and I know I'm talking about like mugging, like you got beef with me, like I robbed you, I done messed with your man, I done did something, I done took something from you, I done did something below the belt, diabolical for you to hate my guts, for you to be mugging the crap out of me like that. And then there'll be times where I would be by myself and she would just kind of just give off like kind of scary. I don't want to say scary vibes, like just stuff like she didn't really want any issues. But whenever me and Jordan would be together and walk together, she would mug the mess out of us, mug the mess out of me mostly. So based off of those interactions and her behavior and the stuff she was doing, it gave off racist vibes. I'm sorry. Like, and I just, considering the fact, and I don't even think she liked Jordan's manager, Browning. I don't think, from what Jordan told me, she don't like him either. And Browning don't like her. I really don't feel like she liked black people or people of color, Hispanic, whatever. Not even just black people. I don't think she liked people of color. I think she's very racist and prejudiced, in my opinion. And I'm going to stand on that, because your actions speak louder than your words. And I go by actions. I don't go by just a look or a glance or something like that, or a misunderstanding. These are constant situations or circumstances that have been popping up or happening between me, Jordan, and her, that it's very questionable. And that's the only thing that I can really gather from that. I get it. Some people are weird and are miserable, and just, you don't always have to have a reason to bother people. Some people are just weird like that. But I truly believe that I truly believe she was racist. I truly do. And it's crazy because she would act so obsessive over Jordan, but you treat Jordan like crap whenever he's in the department. Jordan would tell me she always working me to death, wanted me to do this. And then as time went on, she would want him to start doing certain privileges in the department. And then she would try to get the dudes in the department's numbers, including Jordan. Like, are you coming in this certain day? Or, oh, can you come? She would text him and be like, can you come to this department? Hold on. That is unprofessional on every level. You and Jordan aren't even friends. You don't even like Jordan. So why do you even have his number? And Jordan, why are you giving her your number? Come on, boy, like, seriously. Number two, why are you so, like, possessive over the dudes in your department? Why are you acting so possessive over that? People you could care less about. Number three, why are you so pressed or worried about our relationship or what we're doing? It has nothing to do with you. I'm not bothering you. Jordan's still busting his tail doing his work. Jordan is a hard worker. He may be lazy when it comes to me, but he worked his tail off when it comes to work. So what are you talking about right now? So she just had a whole issue with me, and part of it, I really don't believe it had anything to do with Jordan. I think it just really has something to do with me. Like, something was really wrong with this woman. And later on, I found out when Jordan told me, she got demoted from a supervisor to a regular colleague. So I don't know if she still works there or not, but he told me a lot of stuff. And honestly, the way she was treating me and Jordan, you got your karma. And I hope Browning got demoted too, because you're weird for that. You was really bothering us. Whatever little personal motives that y'all had, that was extremely weird. I and Jordan never did anything to you. We don't bother nobody. I'm that type of person, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. But you went out of your way to bother me and harass me. Even to the point where I had my manager from my department write a fake documentation up and make up a fake case, to the point where I had to quit, because, like, either way, whether they had the documentation, whether they didn't have the documentation, I never had a write-up since I was there. Like, I've never been written up. I've never had any of that issues or whatever. So they were lying. But being there, everybody gonna take the supervisor or the manager's word for it. So it really don't matter. Like, they don't play fair, and they're very, very rude, very disrespectful, very biased, and very prejudiced as well. So it was like a lose-lose kind of situation. So I was just like, it's kind of just, all right, it's time for me to go. I'm good. So, but she had some issues. And then it would get to a point where she would be complaining to my manager, supervisor, well, Courtney is walking him to his department back from break. And I was like, our departments aren't that far from each other. What's the problem with me walking back from break? I mean, I don't have to, but I want to, and I am going to. We do that. That's our thing. And we're married. Who cares? And I think at this time we were already married. So why are you so worried about it? Because when we were dating and we were walking each other back from departments, it wasn't an issue. But now all of a sudden, we're doing it now, it's the issue. And I know Browning just wasn't behind it because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I should name her because, yeah, she came up a little bit. I'll just name her K. I'll name her K. Whatever. But Kay wasn't saying anything before. I just feel like it was just out of nowhere. And I feel like Browning had a lot to do with all of that, what was going on. And it was just like, for what? It's just, all this is stupid. It doesn't make any sense. So, it will be times when my managers and supervisors are talking to me about me coming back from break, me walking my husband to his department from break. And I was just like, I don't get back at a super late time. And if I do, it's other colleagues in my department that come back super late too as well. It's other colleagues in general throughout the warehouse that come back from late as well. I don't think anybody's going to be right back directly at that, that time. You might have to be using a bathroom. You might be getting some water. You might be going to the locker room. You might be doing anything. You never really know, like, what people are doing when they're coming back from break. So you can't just assume that they're just, But one thing I will say, me and Jordan, we came back. We went to our departments. I walked him, and then I walked right back and did what I was supposed to do, get back to work. So like I said, I'm quick, I'm fast. So I'm trying to figure out why I have so much time off task or so much of this and that. And low key, it was Jordan's manager and supervisor going back to my manager and supervisor saying things about me walking him back. Because at the end of the day, Jordan's not really going to get affected by it. I'm going to get affected by it. So I was like, okay. So I just ignored it. But at the end of the day, we stood, and I was just telling Jordan, maybe we shouldn't, like, walk with each other. And Jordan was like, no, we're going to. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we grown. I said, everybody do the same thing. I said, all you doing is walk me to my department and you're walking back. That has nothing to do with the time off task. And I was like, you're right. Okay. I'm just trying to think, like the manager supervisor, be rational about it, even though they were dragging it. But, also, fast forward, what happened? It was the incident, yeah, I think it was becoming an incident where Jordan's supervisor and managers were starting to come to my manager and supervisor once again, complaining that I was using the bathroom near Jordan's department. Because Jordan's department is literally right across from the bathroom. But I was like, everybody in the whole warehouse uses the bathroom near other departments. It's people that walk all the way up front and use the bathroom. I do that. Sometimes I go to the back, sometimes I go to the front, sometimes I go to the side, sometimes I go near Jordan's department. It just really depends on who's in there, what's going on, how dirty it is, how clean it is. Like, I feel like everybody be doing it, and I feel like they would just single me out because of that. That was just really annoying and weird to me. And, I was just like, so, the manager and supervisors in my department was just like, you using the bathroom over there when you could be using the clean bath. I said, well, you don't know the circumstances really for me using the other bathrooms. I said, and I can use the bathroom wherever I want. Everybody else does. So why is it an issue when I'm doing it? Why are you only making it a issue when I'm doing it? So I guess it is like a little bit of favoritism in the workplace, whatever. That's why I just say, like, you should just find your own another job or place, because you don't got to be dealing with that stuff. I'm not about to be arguing back and forth with people about what bathroom I used or me walking my husband back to his department. This is childish and corny. It's very elementary and very childish, and it's like, we got enough going on in the world. Sorry. So I was like, okay, I listened to it, but I ignored it at the same time because I'm going to do what I want. Like, the same thing, same way other people are doing what they want, I'm going to do what I want. I hope you don't think you ain't stopping that, because I'm going to do what I want, like I said. So, fast forward. I think my supervisor or manager came to me again, talking about someone and pretty much in Jordan's department, the manager or supervisor were was saying that I forgot. Maybe that was the same situation. But pretty much I took it upon myself, because I was getting fed up with this. I took it upon myself and I put my harness down. I got off my truck and I walked right to that department and I talked with the supervisor. I talked to Kay and Jordan's supervisor. And I said to her, I said, yeah, I just wanted to have a conversation with you because I feel like we don't really get a chance to really interact or talk with each other like that. I told her, have I done something to offend you? Because if I did, please let me know, because I just feel like, you know, you're going so hard on me, or you have some animosity or some tension with me, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, because you're going very hard, very much hard on one person. I said, so please let me know. Please tell me what I have done to you. And she was just like, oh, I mean, like, huh? Like, you know how I cannot stand when people do that. My mom taught me, when you check someone or you go to, especially a woman or just anybody in general, you tell them, have I done something to offend you? That will shake them up so bad, because they will act so stupid and confused and act dumb, like they don't know what's going on. But you really do know what's going on. You know what you're doing. You're being weird. So, but that's the respectful way of saying, do we have a problem? So that's what I was telling her, like, have I done something to offend you, to be honest? Because I want to know. Maybe I did, you know, brush past her or do something that I didn't know. I be in my own little world and I have tunnel vision to the point where I block stuff out. I want to know, did I do something to you? I respect people who communicate, who are honest, and tell people how they feel or what's on their mind. Even if it's, you know, you're a little hesitant to do it, please tell me. Let me know, because I want to know what I did. If I did something to you, like, let me know. And she was just like, no, like, you didn't, you know, I don't know. We never had an issue or anything. I said, okay, because, you know, my supervisor and manager had brought it to my attention that you were saying something about my time gaps and, you know, saying something about my times or anything. And she was pretty much just saying, like, yeah, well, I just don't want Jordan to be distracted or affected by anything or his time off task. And to be honest, mind you, I know I said earlier that Jordan really didn't have he had a time off task. Jordan really didn't have a time off task. He didn't even have scans or anything, because he literally was just moving boxes, just stacking boxes, like pretty much stacking, like, you know how you would do a trail, like say you worked at FedEx and you just making towers, like you're making walls of a thing. He's pretty much just package handling, low key. It's just shipping. You might do other things from time to time, but he didn't have a number of scans per hour or something. He didn't have time off task. He really didn't have that for his department. It really wasn't needed. So she was dragging it, the whole thing. So she said that Jordan had time off task. He was off task for like 20, I think, no, not even 20. She said like over 30 minutes. And I was like, I know this hoe is lying. I know she's lying. For one, when I do walk Jordan back from off task, not from off task, so off break, Jordan gets back to his department before me. He's able to get to his trailer or get to his or his area and do his work before I can. So if anybody should be off task a little bit longer, maybe I can kind of see me doing it. But Jordan, he's at the department. He's in the department. He's where he's supposed to be at. So what are you talking about? He's off task and not doing what he's supposed to do. Like, just stop it. You're trying to make excuses and trying to make a situation out of nothing. So I was just like, he's off task. I said 30 minutes. She said, yeah, it was just one time where he went to the bathroom and it was over 30 minutes. I said he wasn't. And another thing that me and Jordan were doing that a lot of people did not know was that Jordan was using a timer on his phone to track how long he's using the bathroom, getting water, you know, going to the break room, whatever he's doing. He would use a timer and be like, you know, I'm gonna use a timer, that way they can't be saying anything. I got my timer right here, so I know how long I've been on task or how long I've been out of the department. And I was like, you know what, that's smart. I probably should have did that too, but I don't think it really would have made a difference, because even if you do, like I said, being in there at Macy's, it's your word against theirs, and they're always going to take their word. So it really doesn't matter. However, so, and Jordan would have timers and stuff. So he would even tell me if we would go to the bathroom, we would go on bathroom breaks together, take a break, or, you know, we would go on break and stuff. He would just be like, okay, yeah, it's been over so-and-so. Let me get back because it's been over and I don't want them to say nothing. I'm like, all right, you're right, you bet. Let me do the same thing. So Jordan was, you gotta give it to Jordan. He was on his stuff. Like, he did not play about his times, and I didn't play about it either. So the fact that you're lying right now, and the fact that I hate when managers and supervisors always be bringing stuff up but don't have no documentation, no proof, no times, no nothing to pull up as facts. It's just, it lets me know you're lying. So I already knew she was lying on BS, but yeah, I was just like, that is just crazy. The fact that I was talking to her, and I was just like, I don't know about all that, but I said, you know, we will keep in mind about time and stuff like that. Fast forward. I think it was, you know, getting towards the end of the shift, I had spoke with her, and the thing with Macy's is they have a thing where you clock in at a certain time. You can clock in 5 minutes early, but you're supposed to work your whole shift. So even if you clock in 5 minutes early, you can't clock out 5 minutes early, which is BS. And even in I don't have the manual or whatever, but it's not against the manual. It's not against the rules. I know that. Everybody says that. Yet the supervisors and managers are always trying to get on people for clocking out 5 minutes early when they clocked in 5 minutes early. It's like it's all going to equal up at the same time. So it really doesn't matter. And depending on your department and your shift or what you're doing, especially for drivers, 15 minutes before the shift is over, we're already putting our equipment away, cleaning up, parking our trucks. We're already getting ready. So we're already done. When you're a driver, it's a certain time where you stop working, especially for that shift. We were already done. So it's times where I could put up my equipment earlier than other people. Even in other departments like ICQA, you see them pushing chairs up all the way up to the front, putting their equipment up in the front of the office up early, because that is the time where they're allowed to stop working, walk up and do what they need to do and get ready to proceed to clock out. So what you talking about? So the supervisors and stuff never had an issue with it, but it's like other managers and stuff will make it a problem, and then all of a sudden they would make it a problem. So once I put my stuff up, Jordan, like I said, I think we would clock out at this time. Our clock out time is technically 5:30. We would leave at 5:25, but 5 o'clock is when Jordan and them would stop working completely. They would be cleaning up, doing whatever they're doing, whether it was in that department or another department. We would probably stop working at 5:10, 5:15. So Jordan had a couple more minutes on me. But, you know, around that time, we had already been done working and doing all this stuff. And after I get done, put my stuff in my locker, parking my truck, putting on my equipment, cleaning up on my truck, doing everything I need to do, I wash my hands, I get my stuff together, get my stuff in the locker, and I proceed to walk to Jordan's department, because once I get him, we're going to clock out and we're going to leave. That's just what it is. So, mind you, clocking out 5 minutes before the time. We clock in 5 minutes early, clock out 5 minutes early. That's how we've always done. No one has said anything ever before. Now it's an issue. So, excuse me. So we clock out, and around this time, we just had, you know, we walk in, we about to leave out, and it just so happens, we pass Brownie. That's Jordan's manager, mind you. And I don't care, because I feel like, number one, I'm grown. I can do whatever I want to. And like I said, I clocked in 5 minutes early. I'm clocking out 5 minutes early. And it's not going to be held against us. And if it is going to be held against us, make it a rule or put it in the handbook, manual, whatever you want to call it. Because we cannot be held accountable. You can't do anything to us. Whatever you want to do, however way you want to slice it, you cannot do anything to us. So it doesn't matter. Number two, you are not my manager. You're Jordan's manager. And either way, you can't do nothing to either one of us, because what the heck? So we're passing Brownie. Me and Jordan, we just clocked out. As we're passing him, he stops us and says, He said, y'all clocking out early. Like, what you clocking out for? And I said, we clocking out because we're about to leave. Like, what are you talking about? Because I hope you don't think you trying to check nothing. Like, what? So he was like, yeah, you're not supposed to be like clocking out that early. It's supposed to be 5:30, and you're well, no. I don't even think he made it a point that we clocked out before that. He made a point that I cannot be in his department using that time clock to clock out. You can use anybody's time clock to clock out. I can walk all the way up to prep or all the way up to the 3rd floor and clock out if I wanted to. It's really not like, I get it, their departments, but you can't say nothing about nobody. There's plenty of people that have walked all the way to Case of Shoes where I worked at and have clocked out in a different department. If it's managers and supervisors from active that have walked all the way to Case of Shoes and clocked out. You can't tell nobody where to clock out at. All the time clocks are for everyone. They just make it convenient and put it in other departments for people to make it convenient for people in those departments. You can't tell people where to clock in or clock out at. I don't know what she's talking about. Like, so I was just like, you can clock out anywhere you want to. What are you talking about? And he was just like, no, you're supposed to clock out in your department. Like, you're not supposed to be up here that early and in someone else's department, you know, like talking or mingling or something like that. I said, we're not mingling or talking. I said, we're about to leave. That's why we clocked out and left. What are you talking about? So, he starts getting on at Jordan because he know he can't say nothing to me. You really can't. You really can't say anything to Jordan. Jordan is clocked out at this point. Well, no, I think we were still waiting. We were still waiting a couple minutes because it was like 5:23. We clocked out at 5:25. Okay, you got it. All right. So he was just like, yeah, well, you stand at the time clock. Well, y'all just need to clock out or something already. And Jordan was just like what? Like, I was just like, like, how do you think you checking somebody or you trying to start, like, what are you doing? You're being annoying. You're being weird for no reason. You start in trouble. You ain't never did this before. But now all of a sudden, because of me, you're doing this. Like, you're doing too much. You're being weird. So Jordan clocked out. I think it was like 5:27 he clocked out because Browning is talking to us for all this time, being weird, being annoying, talking so much. A couple minutes went by. So I said, I'm not clocking out. I'm sorry. You can't make me clock out. You really can't at the end of the day. No. We didn't clock out at 27. We clocked out at 25. I remember. We clocked out at 25. I think Jordan clocked out at like 23 or something. And I clocked out at 25 because I'm not going any freaking where. Who do you think you are? I'm just bold like that. He knew he couldn't try me or play that mess with me. And I'm not saying he could try Jordan, but I can understand Jordan's situation because this is his manager, his department. So I don't want to give Jordan that much of a time, and I didn't want to make it that difficult for him. But me, I'm not clocking out till 25, Negro. You got me all the way twisted. I'm not clocking out. To do something about it. And he was being so aggressive. His tone was getting all like, he heightened his tone, like, you doing all of this for what? Like, I didn't do anything to you. What is your problem? What? So after a while, I clock out 5:25, and me and Jordan, we go about our business and do our thing. I kind of thought it would kind of be swept under the rug, but of course I come in again. Little did I know this will be my last day being at Macy's, but my manager, the department manager, and she was actually a seasonal manager. She wasn't even a real manager of the department. And she really didn't like me anyway because I would, I kind of had my issues and stuff with her already. She would always just be looking at me sideways and doing weird stuff. I got a weird vibe from her. So I just knew she didn't like me anyway. So I was like, whatever. So, she will always be, just whatever. So she came to me and pretty much sat down with me. And it was towards the end of the shift. I think it was like a few hours before the shift was over. She came and sat me down in her office. And I was like, my thing is like, why didn't you say this earlier? I hate when managers and supervisors do that stuff. They wait till like the end of the shift or close to the end of the shift to bring something to your attention or cause an issue or something or complaint with you. Like, you could have said that at the beginning of the shift or even in like maybe the middle or whatever. Like, you're doing too much. You did all that. Why did it take you this long to say that? So she brings me in her office, and she's pretty much saying that the manager, aka Browning, with his messy, ugly, yellow, rotten tooth behind, because yep, I'm gonna put him on blast because you got a rotten tooth. And anybody know that work at Macy's know he got a rotten tooth, and that's just what it is. You got a rotten tooth, and that's another reason why I wouldn't want to talk to you. Ew, you nasty little yuck mouth, whatever. So anyway, she pretty much told me that Browning was saying that pretty much just same stuff before. I was using the bathroom in near Jordan's department. I was walking him back from break, doing all this other stuff, just the same stuff over and over again. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And I was just like, okay. And proceeded on to say, like, you know, there's documentation. I said, where's the documentation at? Where's the write-ups at? And she was just like, there's documentation. Where's the documentation? Where the write-ups at? I haven't had a write-up since I've been working here. I've never had a write-up. At any job that I've had, show me the write-up. I said, where's the documentation at? Do you have the write-up or the documentation? I feel like if you're going to accuse me of something, or you're going to present information or allegations or stuff towards me, you should at least be able to pull up the facts or the information or the documentation that you said you have. She would not pull it up. She was just like, I mean, there's documentation. It's there. Trick, I know it's there. You're saying it's there, but I want to see it. If it's there, show me that it's there. It's not there, and I'm calling your bluff because you full of BS. Like, get your ratchet, raggedy, ugly tail out of here. Like, you're a weirdo, just like Browning is, just like Kay is. All of y'all are weird. I said, and I've never done anything to you. Anytime you need me to do my job, I've done it. Anytime you need an assignment done, I've done it. Anytime I've been respectful to you. I've never had any issues with you. You side-eyed me a little bit and looked a little weird towards me, but I've never done anything to you. So what is the problem? So she pretty much proceeds to tell me that now she has no choice to open a case on me because of this documentation or this write-up, which was never, I don't even believe that it was even there. I don't believe it. And that's one thing Macy's is known for, is putting fake cases and documentation out on you. They're known for that. They do that. So I knew it was fake. I knew it was BS. But like I said, with Macy's, it's their word against yours. And they're going to believe their word against yours. On top of the fact they're already prejudiced in there and don't care for brown people anyway. I was like, I ain't got time for that mess. So I just left. I was just like, all right, whatever. She thought that I was just going to stay there and put up with that and put up with a case being put on me over false documentation that was never there to begin with. So I told the supervisor, I said, here's my badge. Here you go. This is my last night, and I am officially leaving now. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm done. Y'all, you doing too much. You can have that. Like, I'm not going to let anybody, you know, I know you said don't let anybody stop your money and stuff like that, but until you're in the situation, you really don't understand, you know, what it is. And somebody putting a case on you at the end of the day, that's serious. Especially when you ain't getting no write-ups. You never got any write-ups or documentation in your life. And even then, if you presented that to me, you would have that in writing. You would have that. You would have me at least, can you sign this? This is documentation. This is a write-up. This is something. They never presented any of that to me. So not only are you unprofessional, but you're a liar because you have no documentation whatsoever of a write-up or an incident or of anything happening with me, with the managers, supervisors, or even you. So I'm not going to be entertaining that mess. Like, you playing, you know, you doing all that mess. And I feel like it was all really Browning's doing. Kay had part of it, but Browning had a huge part of it. And he was low-key salty because I didn't want to talk to him or, you know, date him or whatever his intentions were. But I don't want to talk to you, and it was never going to give that then, and it ain't giving that now. Sorry, Jordan or no Jordan, it was never going to happen. I'm not interested. So you can take you, your raggedy behind, and your rotten tooth, and all your other side chick in Macy's, your wife, your girlfriend, whoever you have, and you can get the hell out of my face. Sorry for saying that, but yeah. And as far as Kay and the supervisor and all of them, they all got that karma because, you know, most of them are regular colleagues now. or most of them don't even have their jobs now. And that's why you need to be careful how you treat people, because karma spins that block. And although I don't believe in karma per se, I do believe in the Bible, and the Bible says you reap what you sow. So whatever you reap onto people is what you sow onto yourself. And y'all treated me weird, and y'all treated me bad. And not even just the manager supervisor, it was colleagues too that were doing weird stuff to me, and I did nothing to them. And they got their karma as well. Or they will get their karma very soon. It always comes back, whether it's a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to get your karma. They may even have it right now. So, regardless of all the situations and stuff, the challenge I have to go through working there, I'm very proud of how far I've come and where I'm at right now. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm getting better and doing what I need to do to get to the place where I need to be. So, yeah. You did all that for what? I hope it was worth it, because you got what you deserved in the end. You treat people bad, that's exactly what you will get in the end. So, yeah, you gotta watch how you treat people. That's just the reality of it. I don't know what happened with Browning as far as him being a manager or whatever, but I know I ain't got to deal with him or anything anymore. And I just knew he was just salty about the fact that I did not want to deal with him. And I think he was triggered a little bit seeing me with Jordan. A lot of people were triggered with me, Jordan. I even have to deal with that on social media. People saying, you betrayed your culture, you betrayed your race, you this. Jordan's the first white man I've ever been with. I'm attracted to all races. I've always been attracted to all races. I don't care about your race. But this is the person I love, and this is the person who I'm with, and this is the person who I'm married. So love don't have no color to it. Like, what are you talking about? You being weird. You was salty. You wanted to try to start mess. And yeah, I left that job and stuff at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I really got the last laugh. So not even the last laugh. It's just things just played out for themselves, because I don't like doing all that get back titty for tatty kind of stuff. It's just like, y'all got what y'all deserve, pretty much. So, yeah, that's it for this story time. I hope I wasn't all over the place or rambling or whatever, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an insight as to the things I had to deal with, because Browning was on my neck. Like, he wanted me bad. Like, he wanted to make it hard for me bad, and he wanted me bad. So it was just like, yeah. And he's not the first guy that is giving me a hard time because I don't want to talk to him, or I want to date him, or I cut him off, or do something. Like, just look at the previous story times with my ex-husband. I could, divorce him, and he going on this whole rampage. So it doesn't surprise me. It's just crazy how some men operate, especially when they in relationships or they're married already, or already got other things established. You bothering me, and it's like, for what? I'm just trying to mind my business, live my life, and be happy. But yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that story time or whatever. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe to my channel, and always keep your notifications, of course, open so that you can be notified when I post. And yeah, just keep up with me. Just keep staying tuned for any of my story times. should be uploading a try on haul for little bottoms and stuff to wear for like the spring and the summer. So keep, stay tuned for that. And yeah, pretty much that's all. So thank you guys for tuning in, and that's all. So bye.